Look, I got the chair that everybody else has. Hi guys, nice to meet you if you're new here. Nice to see you if you're not new here. How's it going? Happy New Year. I thought it would be great to start the year off with going through my physical TBR. We are going to try and read every single series that I am in the middle of. Obviously, we're not doing it all in this vlog. I'm thinking if we're going to continue this series throughout the year, but this video was originally done by just Allie. If you don't already watch Allie, you should go and watch her. She's very creative. She came up with this video idea where she's trying to go through her physical TBR and read all of the series that she's in the middle of, and I thought that's such a great idea. And I've been wanting to film this video, but I was thinking this is a good, beginning of the year video, especially because one of my goals for this year is to go through my physical TBR. And, hello, do you like this chair too? I've gotten a lot of books this year, and a lot of them are series. So we're gonna go through them, and we're gonna try and read my series. We're gonna try and narrow them down, and I thought this was a good video to go through my physical TBR. I have my list here of every single series I'm in the middle of, and I'm in the middle of 26 series. 26. Q6. That's a lot. I'm in the middle of 10 physical series, which means I have the next book in the series, 6 books that I don't have the next book, or I've read them on my Kindle, 5 series, the next book isn't out yet, 5 series I don't plan on continuing. Let's quickly go through them. All my physical books are Chestnut Springs, Dreamland Billionaire, Magnolia Parks, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Folk Air, Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Inheritance Games, Hunger Games, Part of Your World, which is Abby Jimenez's yours truly, Part of Your World. I don't know what the series is called. I know it's interconnected, standalone series, but I have it written down because I have both those books. And then the Legend series by Marie Lu. Ones that I don't have the next book or I've read on my Kindle is Dark Olympus, Legend Born, Kingdom of the Wicked, Truly Devious, Salacious Players Club, and Sinners. Books that aren't out yet are Playing for the Keeps, Maple Hills, Better Than the Movies, Vicious Lost Boys, and Ice Planet Barbarian. And then series I don't plan on finishing are Off Campus, Twisted, Romancing the Clarksons, which is a Tessa Bailey, Too Hot to Handle series, which I didn't know was the series name. The Housemaid, just because I don't really read thriller, I don't know if I am gonna ever read that series. And then Midnight Harbor, which is just a very short vampire series, and I didn't really care for it. We're gonna start with my physical books. I don't want to buy these books yet. So if they're on my don't own, I don't plan on finishing them at this moment. I do plan on finishing them eventually, but I don't want to buy those books yet. I want to go through my physical TBR first. I'm actually currently reading 2 books right now. I'm reading Magnolia Parks Long Way Home by Jessica Hastings. I'm about 125 pages in. This is the 3rd book in the series. We're currently reading this one. And on my Kindle, I'm reading Reckless by Elsie Silver. I do have the physical copy to this, but I would like to read it on my Kindle. I guess let's get to reading instead of talking so much, because I could talk forever. Hours later. I read earlier 30 pages. this book. A lot of stuff. It's like closing out what happened in the first book, revisiting what happened in the first book, and they're going through their same things, but then another topic is brought up that's very heavy. I know when you're doing a reading vlog, you're talking about the book that you're reading, but I don't want to talk about this book. Don't want to tell you literally anything about this book. Because I feel like it's so... Obviously, this is a toxic relationship. They shouldn't be together, but they want to be together, but they shouldn't be together. But you're also rooting for them at the same time, which is really weird to think about. Because if I had a friend like this in real life, I'd be like, girl, no. Like, no, what do you... No. Absolutely. No. But me reading this book, I'm like, okay. Like, maybe give him another chance. I don't know. Also, something that might trigger you. I have been annotating more recently. My annotating is just like underlining things that I like in a book, or like quotes or whatever. I started dog-earing the pages, and at first I was like, I'm gonna hate this, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the way it looks. Can you see it? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Let me tell you how I'm feeling with this book. I feel like some of this is just so repetitive at this point, and I don't know if you can see, I am tabbing it in a dog-eared way, so like if you hate it, I'm sorry, but I am like tabbing it a little bit, and I am enjoying it, but I maybe like the last couple of chapters, I just feel like are so repetitive. I want to see their relationship, and I want to see them flourish, and I want to see them better themselves, and that's what was happening. Hello, it is the next day. Last night I updated you on how I was feeling about Magnolia Parks, so I decided I'm not putting it down. We'll finish it. When? I don't know. I just need a break from it, because I don't want my feelings that I'm having at the moment to impact how I feel about the book. So I decided to put it down for now. I am reading Reckless though. I was on page 50 the last time I updated you. So I started this book this morning, page 50. I am on page 176. I'm loving this book. I'm loving it. I'm swooning. I love this series so much. I think that's my favorite part so far, is that I didn't actually know anything about this book when I was reading it. I didn't know what the tropes were. I just went into it, and boy oh boy, am I having a good time. Oh gosh, I feel like I love Heartless. It's my favorite book of the series, but this one's coming up close. This one is coming up close. This character, I love this character in this book. I literally just laughed out loud at this scene. Happy New Year, bruv. That's so funny. Just wanted to give you an update on my reading. Yesterday, I finished Reckless last night. I had read it, what's today? Today's Monday. Happy New Year's. Today's New Year. This isn't going up today. It'll probably go up sometime this week. But anyways, I read most of the day on Saturday. I just couldn't get enough of these two. Love this book. And I finished reading off yesterday. I read some yesterday morning, but yesterday was my anniversary. So I read some yesterday morning, and then I read some trying to stay up last night till midnight, because I always fall asleep before the new year. But I tried to stay up last night, so I was reading this, and I finished it. This is about Theo. I would honestly say go into this book. If you're reading the series, go into this book. Don't know nothing. It does tell you exactly what this book is about. Okay, well, I have the mirrored covers, but this book tells you the trope of it in the front. Didn't read that, didn't know that. I'm glad I didn't know that, because was I shocked? Yes. For a second, it threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a minute. But then I was like, okay, this is like getting good. This book was really good. This is definitely right under Heartless. It's Heartless and Reckless, but they're really close. I did really enjoy this book. Character development, the romance, the like showing he cares about her little things. You get the cameo of who it's about in Powerless. Where these two show up in Powerless, you pick right back up on it. First chapter. This book was great. I really do recommend the series. If you haven't started Chestnut Springs, I recommend it. It's a good romance book. I love the writing, love the storytelling. Every single character you read about in this book has had some kind of character development. And chef's kiss, this book was great. I gave it a 4.5 stars because it is not, in my humble opinion, better than Heartless. And I know you might not agree with me. And also, we can check a book off of our series tracker. I have one more book left in the series, and it's Hopeless. Then we've been reading Magnolia Parks Long Way Home, right? So when I last spoke to you, the last time I really sat down and spoke to you about Magnolia Parks, I was a bit frustrated with them. I was a bit annoyed with them. And I should have kept reading, because only a couple chapters later did it like get better. But there's just a point where it was just feeling repetitive to me. But this is still a really good book. But I will say I am liking where this book is going. I think I'm really nervous to read the rest of it, but all I've done today also is read and look up book journaling stuff. I ordered my book journal. I've been reading this book all day. The last time I spoke to you, I was on page like 247, and now I'm on page 403. I have just a little over 100 pages left. The characters in this book, I am so nervous to see how it's going to go though. And then after I finish this, we can talk about it now. I don't really know what book I want to go into. Most of my series I'm in the middle of are actually on this shelf. So I have a couple of options to go into, but I kind of want to grab a book where I can finish the series. But I'm thinking my two options are either Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes or As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. These are the last books I need to read in each series. Both have like a mystery to them. This one just also has a romance subplot. Actually, they both have a romance subplot. Either way, these are my last book in each series. So I'm going to read one of these next after I finish Magnolia Parks, so we can officially check off one full series. That's my little update for now. I'm going to keep reading so I can go finish this book, because I do need to know how it ends. I do need to know what I'm being thrown into with Daisy Hates. I completely forgot to update you on how I felt about Magnolia Parks after I read it. So that's what I'm gonna do really quickly. I think I updated you when I had about a little over 100 pages left, and I binged the rest of it. It was getting really late, okay? There was like things going on. I was super excited for them. And then it was getting really late, and I was like, okay, there's 10 pages left. I'm really tired. So as I get ready for bed, I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. The audio of the last 10 pages, which is about the last 2 chapters. A lot happened in the last couple of chapters for Magnolia and BJ, for other people. I am really nervous to go into Daisy Hates, if I'm being quite honest with you. Something super big happened, and it made them be like, okay, what am I doing? You know, what am I doing right now? Why does it take for this significant thing to happen for me to realize, like, how I feel? Okay? That happened. And I was really vibing with the last couple of chapters. I'm listening to the last 10 pages. Something happens. They're telling somebody something that happens. Really heartfelt moment. Then I'm listening to the last chapter. I'm getting ready for bed. I hear something that's happened or is happening, and I literally, let me reenact. Pretend this is my phone, okay? I'm like doing something. I look down at my phone. I pick my phone up. Rewind. Because what did I just listen to? I'm listening to it again. And then I'm like, my heart, I ran downstairs. It's late. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? I run downstairs. I pick up a book. I rewind the audio again, and I start reading with the audio because I need to know what is going on right now. And then I finish. And I'm just in utter shock for like, what? Why? What was that? What was that? Let me tell you, I run back upstairs after I process kind of what's happened, and I rant to my husband about what I've just read. He doesn't care. These people aren't real to him. They're real to me. They're real to me. But they're not real to him, so he does not care. These people are not real to him like they are real to me. These people exist in London. They live there. BJ, Magnolia, all these people, this group of people, they live there. I wish I would have filmed my reaction of the last couple of pages. I was so impacted by the last couple of pages that I dreamt about it. If you were interested, here are what my tabs kind of look like. Just like the dog ears to them. I don't know how I feel, and I immediately wanted to go into Daisy Hates, but also, does it explain what happens in this book in Daisy Hates? Because if it doesn't, I have to wait till Into the Dark comes. I don't know what my official rating for this is. I think I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Like I said, there were parts in this book that was really frustrating for me, and I'm sure if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. It just gets really frustrating. Sometimes it's a little repetitive. Sometimes you want to like reach through the book and like smack them upside the head. What are you doing? So I was frustrated with these characters a couple of times. So I do really enjoy this book. I really enjoyed the series. I cannot wait to go into Daisy Hates. I'm telling you, I really wanted to pick up Daisy Hates as my next book. Anyways, that's how I felt about this book. Hey besties, doing some further research. Technically, this is not, I know I said that the other one is like a spin-off, but technically it's Inheritance Games number 4. I would be wrong. I would be so wrong, because if you go on Goodreads, it says Inheritance Game number 4. I wanted to fully check off a full series in this video, but I'm not gonna. Literally such a terrible angle, so don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. But I started my new job today, and I am tired. Right now, I am on chapter 35. But I've been listening to the audiobook of this book because I have been out of this world for so long that I kind of needed somebody else to read it to me instead of reading it to myself. I think most of this book is going to be listened to on audio, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like I'm comprehending what's going on better with an audiobook rather than trying to read it by myself. So that's what we're doing, is we're just going to listen to the audio. I'll probably read some here and there, but I'm mainly just listening to the audiobook. This book is just like a big fun mystery element to it. There's still like Avery trying to get her inheritance. It's gotten a lot closer with the family, which is really fun to see. My favorite character is Xander. My favorite character will always be Xander. Now that I think about it, yes, it would be fun to have her brother's book, but I know Xander is not in the first book. Like, his point of view is not in the first book. There's also someone, they're not a new character, they were introduced in the last book, but they have more of an active spot happening in this story, and I just don't trust them. I do not trust them. I don't trust them. No. me again. I'm back in the same position because now I'm going to update you on the Final Gambit. I actually listened to the entire audiobook of this. I really didn't read much of it. I think I was having a bit of trouble reading this book because it had been a while since I was in this little universe of the inheritance games. And I wasn't so interested, and I couldn't really remember too much about Hawthorne Legacy ended. So I know like I wanted to read this book because at first I thought it was the end of the series. I thought Brothers Hawthorne was a spin-off to this. Like it was a different series, but it was like a spin-off to the series because it was switching over point of views. I was wrong. I thought it was the last book. My apologies. I'm sure you were screaming at me through the screen when I was telling you that this was the last book in the series. That's besides the point. I listened to the entire audiobook of this. Every time I tried to pick this up and physically read it, I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't comprehend what I was reading. I was just like reading the words on the page, but I wasn't listening to what I was reading, if that makes any sense. I do think that I enjoyed the other books better than this book. This one kind of threw me for a bit of a loop because in this book, Avery's trying to get the rest of her inheritance. She's got a couple of weeks that she has left to live into the Hawthorne house before she can inherit all of this money. Correct, yes. Obviously, these books have a bit of a mystery element to them, so the mystery pops up. There's a different character that pops up that you've been introduced to, but you don't really know them. They pop back up. It was entertaining, but it was not my favorite book of the series, and I do think I'm actually going to continue the series because something that happens at the end of this book introduces the fifth book. Now that the fifth book was announced, it's called The Grandest Games. Now that the fifth book was announced, it shows you like what The Grandest Games is in this book. I believe that my final rating for this book is a 3-star because I just didn't love this book. I really do think it was mainly because I waited so long to read this book after I read Hawthorne. And I read Hawthorne at the beginning of last year, so I think it was just like the time that I waited to read it. We have officially checked off 3 books from our series tracker, except for I didn't check off a complete series yet. We will, don't you worry. We're working on it. I'm gonna make this a little series. Again, this video idea is from Just Allie. Just Allie came up with this. Go watch hers. She has a couple of videos on this series that she's doing where she's reading 27 series or 19 series, and it was really fun to watch. It was such an amazing idea that I had to do it, especially because part of my goal this year is to knock a lot of books off of my physical TBR. This is the first video of the New Year's, which I'm super excited about. I have so many ideas planned. I'm already jumping on some of them. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, maybe subscribe. That would be really cool. Other than that, I hopefully will see you next time. Bye! Thanks for watching.